Okay, thanks so much, Sarah. Welcome to everybody. I really appreciate that we've got you at 7:30-ish on a Wednesday night. There might be football on. We might all be still glory hunting, and I'm hoping that whatever goes on in my living room is not too noisy if my husband starts enjoying the football too much. But thank you so much to you all for coming along tonight. This is a really important project, and I think everybody gets the kind of the buy local message. We all understand how important it is because you know, I see so many things on social media. You know, these small businesses are the real lifeblood of our local, you know, your high streets, whether that's Stobswell or Broughty Ferry, or whether it's the West End, or whether it's Lochee, or whether it's the town and the part of Dundee that you're from. And these businesses, they're the ones that will sponsor your local kids football team, or will give prizes for charity raffles, or be the ones that, you know, employ or probably are owned by people that you know and that you love. So at a time when they're, you know, looking at how do they reach more customers, it's really important that the Chamber and the local authority in Dundee can support as many people as possible. And we've been working on this project since the summertime. Scotland's Towns Partnership is an organisation that works with the Scottish Government to support towns and cities and town centres. And we've been talking to them about the future of high streets. You know, how do we help support not just the physical place, but the digital landscape as well. And in the summertime, lots and lots and lots of businesses did their own shift to delivery models, to click and collect, to kind of taking themselves online and getting an online presence. But what we were really keen to do was try and have something that brought everybody together under a kind of one place banner. Not necessarily taken away from everybody's individual websites, or even taken away from the fact that people might have their own e-commerce site. This is an extra place for us to help drive footfall, virtual footfall, and drive extra spend and extra pounds and pence to local businesses. So we've been working to make sure that it's, you know, the model is rooted in food and drink, really. But this is definitely not an app or a website that's for only food and drink. It's really important that it's for everybody, and not only will we talk about what it is doing right now, but we will talk about the kind of future of it, and that's going to be into kind of gift cards and vouchers. And no longer are you all sitting in offices where, you know, if somebody's got a birthday or somebody's leaving, you put round an envelope and everybody throws a fiver in, and we can't really do that anymore. So, you know, there's got to be a way, I think, for us all to come together and buy vouchers, and for people in our local area to be able to do that and spend them in local shops. So I think that's enough introduction from me. A couple of our team are going to talk about what we're doing in the project. We'll have time for any questions, and then I will be really interested in your feedback and what you might like to see happen next, or you know, what those questions are and how we can help you either get involved in the app or tell everybody you know about it. So Ross, over to you to kind of talk about what we've been doing recently and how it's going.
Super, thanks Alison. Yeah, I'm Ross, I'm the membership manager for the Chamber. Been working on this project since the beginning really, so really excited to share the information with you this evening, let you know a little bit more about it, and hopefully answer some questions towards the end. We think it'll be a really good tool to support local businesses in Dundee, so I'd be really keen to get your feedback tonight. So a quick presentation, if you want to move on, Sarah, to the first slide. Or second slide rather. Here we go. So Love Dundee Local is here to help businesses in our community to take online orders and to offer products for collection or delivery. Through the mobile app or website, local residents of Dundee can order goods for collection or delivery from some of the best local businesses the city has to offer. Next slide, please, Sarah. Who's behind this? It's us at the Dundee and Angus Chamber of Commerce, Dundee City Council, Hunger, and Local. Local are a trading division of Matthew Clark. We've all teamed up to offer the service to drive footfall and purchases across many sectors who have struggled during the COVID crisis. Initial costs are included in the development and the promotion of this project are being met by the organisations mentioned above and supported in part by a grant funded by Scotland's Towns Partnerships. Next slide, please. So this is a quick look at the app itself. The app is an app, but it's also a web-based system as well. So the idea is that a consumer can jump on to either platform, they can pop in their postcode, they can search all the different retailers that are on the platform. This example in the middle here shows Clementine's in Broughty Ferry. It shows you all the different subsections that they offer. Choose whatever products you want, securely pay for them, and then you can choose whether you want to have the products delivered or if you want to collect. The slide or the picture over on the right will show just what it looks like from the web-based system. Next slide, please. Some examples of it here. So the one on the left will show that you can have gift vouchers on it. So you can have there just the stock images that come on the app. So you can put your own images on it if you wanted, but it shows that you can have vouchers. So some businesses might not, might only want to offer vouchers through it, which is totally fine, absolutely no problem. The middle capture here is of Pizza Revolution. So if you wanted to offer takeaway products on it, that's absolutely fine. You can customize your pizza by adding all the different toppings and bits and pieces, so it's fully functional in that respect. And the slide over on the right, or the picture over on the right rather, is what the checkout looks like. So just like any other online checkout really that you would see online, you can add different quantities and remove products before paying for your goods. We've got some marketing and advertising planned. So any business that becomes that signs up to the platform will get a window sticker. That's what it looks like there. We've got a 4-week advertising campaign where we're going to advertise in the Courier, Evening Telegraph, on the radio. There's going to be some sponsored online content and some online advertising. We'd certainly at the Chamber, we'll be doing a lot of sort of spotlights showcasing businesses that are using the platform, and we'll be promoting special offers on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram channels. So why should your business join Love Dundee Local? Well, really it's about adding a new revenue stream. That's the way I'm looking at this to your business. You know, we're living in different times now, and we certainly recognise you need a new, simple way to manage orders. If you're thinking about sort of transitioning to the digital marketplace and selling online without having to sort of invest heavily in a new e-commerce store or a website, Love Dundee Local can support you by offering you this platform to sell online with nothing like the expense of a full e-commerce store. Love Dundee Local helps you reach local customers in your area who require your services and enables them to support you as one of their local businesses. So it's really important from that respect. So the cost, so there's 2 options. So businesses can choose from either a flat fee of 2% on all transactions or a fixed fee of £125 per month. There is an optional point of sale tablet that costs £15 per month. So the point of sale tablet is effectively, it's just like a tablet or iPad that all the orders will come through. It'll ping when an order comes through. Very straightforward sort of system. The cost, just to give a bit of, to put it in context, just to eat and Deliveroo, you would expect to pay 15 or between 15 and 30% on transaction fees. So we're really happy that Love Dundee Local can be offered at just 2%. So we feel that's excellent value. These are just some slides about some, you know, some really stark stats really. You know, that one there about Primark lost 650 million by avoiding e-commerce. imagine the impact on their turnover to go from £650 million sales in March to literally zero in April, because their decision not to go online. So some really interesting stats and figures here. 59% of people will spend more online post-crisis. Online shopping rates continue to surge, growing at 129% week on week. So there's lots of figures and stats. We'll not go through them all here, but everyone will be quite aware that there's a huge surge in online activity. So it's even more reason to get involved. Next slide, please. Here are some frequently asked questions. So, do you deliver for me? Can you arrange delivery for me? So the short answer is no. Love Dundee Local is an online app or platform for local consumers to order from. Delivery is organised by the merchant, not by Love Dundee Local. Does the merchant need to accept an order once it's been placed, or will all orders push through to the merchant regardless? So no, you don't need to accept everything. The merchant gets the option to accept or decline the order once it arrives. In case there's a glitch, and something that you're selling for £100 comes through at £1 for argument's sake, you can accept or decline anything that comes through. Next slide, please. Should I have a minimum order value? No, it's entirely up to yourself. The business, whether you have a minimum order value, there's nothing mandated. Can customers pay with cash or contactless at point of delivery? No. So payments made through the local app and is the final step in the customer journey. So cash and contactless will not be required after this transaction. How do you register? So you follow the link on the screen here. You need to sign up for an account with Stripe. They process all the payments for Love Dundee Local. I'll touch on Stripe in just a moment. You add the products and items or your menu to the product file template, which is on the link above, and you complete the onboarding form on this link. You add in your Stripe details, and then a member of the team will contact you with hope to having you trading on the platform in just 2 to 3 days. So it's a pretty quick turnaround from the minute you sign up via that link to the minute you can literally start accepting orders. So yeah, so this is Stripe. So Stripe is, some of you might have Stripe accounts at the moment, but it's really similar to PayPal, really, to be fair. It's quick and free to sign up. It allows you to accept global payment methods, including Apple Pay. Stripe work with some of the biggest brands that are out there, including Amazon, Spotify, Microsoft. And you see some examples of who they are there. So Stripe is really just a payment gateway that allows you to get your money, for want of a better phrase. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Please ask us some questions. We'd love to have you on board. We'd love you to promote this and tell other business owners about it. And yeah, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you've got. Thanks.
Hey Ross, there's a couple of questions in the chat, and actually the first one is something that I was going to touch on. Well, at least I think it is. So Michelle is asking about the local only and is delivery only in Dundee given the new travel restrictions. So I'm nearly positive that the answer to that is no, and I'll tell you why. Because it has come up on the West Coast in those areas that have moved to level 4, and I'm definitely hearing that even in level 4 areas, click and collect, a journey to click and collect is okay. So I was going to say actually that even if we should end up in a scenario where we are in a different level than we're currently in, for the worse, what this does is really helps businesses kind of protect and still actually sell to their customers, because click and collect is absolutely okay. So that kind of answers that first one, I think. how long after the transaction do they receive the payment? So I'm going to plead the fifth and ask Ross if he knows the answer to that one.
Yeah, it's you can get the payment within 24 hours. So I was speaking to someone yesterday that's got a Stripe account, and they say they draw from it within 24 hours. So it's, you can set it up optionally. Some businesses choose to do it weekly and monthly and quarterly, but he tells me he draws from it every day, basically.
So in a similar scenario to PayPal, it sits in your balance, so it's not held anywhere else. It's held by that payment gateway.
Totally.
Fair enough. Yep. Paper shop, or can I add to my cart from several businesses and pay once?
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, you would need to place separate orders, but that is something that we can take back to the developer and say, can we add support for this? Because
I suspect you're absolutely right.
That would be good. Yeah.
I know from even asking questions myself. So when you use the app rather than the website, you have to choose the store, and then you go into the store, you browse what's going on in the store, and then I was like, oh, I'm stuck. How do I get out of this store? And I was doing stupid things like having to close out the app. But I discovered that, I don't know if you noticed in one of Ross's pictures, there's a little map pin on the top right-hand corner, and that takes you back to the all stores mechanism. But yeah, I'm nearly positive, like Ross, that there's not a kind of a global basket. It's kind of per store. Fees, is the 2% plus the business's current payment merchant service? If it is Stripe, it's a fixed fee. So yeah, absolutely. That is the case. And I think what we haven't touched on actually is any setup fees. So with a lot of other services, there may be setup fees. What we've done with Love Dundee Local is the partners have covered all of the development. So there is no setup fee paid by businesses to onboard. There's nothing at all. It's, the kind of the onboarding, the getting businesses ready, making sure all their photographs are in the right spot for all of the kind of the different categories you've got, for the marketing, and all of that web development is all covered by the partners. So there's been a significant investment by the partners in making sure that businesses can come on straight away and choose that mechanism. And the other option, Ross talked about the tablet, and I think it's fair to say that if you're a business that's like a food business that's got a lot of orders coming through, it's definitely recommended that a tablet is there, because you can't really manage it the same from your desktop. Whereas if you're a business that's perhaps not got quite as many transactions flying at you that you have to be dealing with in real time, then potentially you could choose to manage it without a tablet until you see how you get on. And we're onboarding businesses all the time. So at the moment, I'm looking at the web-based version where there's 7 businesses listed on that so far. On the app, there's still just 4. So the app tends to kind of trickle its way a little bit through, but you'll be on the online version of it really quickly and able to use that to kind of direct customers to get orders really, really quickly. So it's a very quick process, but there are a few stages to getting a business on. Ross, we've got another question about how many businesses are already signed up for selling. So as I say, we've got 7 on there and 4 on the app. But I mean, I've seen emails today, we're talking about a fairly significant number of others in the process, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, we only just really started talking to businesses sort of last week about this. So we've got, as you said, 7 and 4 at the moment, but we definitely need much more. So it's pretty much what most of our time is involved at the moment, is just going out speaking to businesses, and that's why we'd certainly hope that you guys could share this with your connections as well to help get it up.
And I mean, our focus definitely has been to get live. We're very much hopeful that we can steer some of your Black Friday spending away from some of the usual suspects into Fairy Tree, the Selkie, We Love Platters, Clementine's, the Broughty Ferry. There's just so many local businesses there that have got brilliant products and services, and they're very keen to kind of connect with local consumers. So we're very much in that kind of business sign up phase, because it's kind of chicken and egg, isn't it? You know, consumers will want to come on and see a good range of local businesses. I mean, this has been kind of positioned as you know, you kind of come onto this app and you go, right, okay, I need a whole series of gifts, and I'm really not sure what is kicking around in all these corners of local businesses, and actually I can come on and I can buy anything from anybody in Dundee that I kind of choose to. That's our big vision for it. But we want to make sure that consumers have got really good content, because there's no point in us telling consumers that this thing is all singing, all dancing, and when they come on, they, you know, would love to have pizza and other things, but actually they can't then shop for some of those Christmas gifts they're after. So we're very, very keen to make sure that we get some really good content and get businesses onboarded. And then, you know, our big push next week ahead of Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and all your Christmas shopping. Of course, we've got very stereotypical comment, but we've got absolutely weeks to get the men in their shopping, don't we? But for those people that are well organised, I hope you're not too organised, because we'd really like you to buy your Christmas stuff. But I think, you know, in the kind of earlier months of lockdown, there was definitely a trend towards people feeling like click and collect and getting a kind of a window where they could go in and kind of know that it was a safe collection was something that we were hearing a lot from consumers as something that they liked. And it's a good way for businesses to be able to manage their kind of customers, so that there's not a lot of people, you know, having to queue up or kind of use spaces. So okay, a few other questions. Yes, they do automatically join both versions, Michelle. So yeah, so web is just a wee bit faster, but yet people's businesses will be on both the web and the app version. And in
the Chamber
terms
will
of,
certainly support. Yeah, sorry, Alison. Yeah, I was just
go
going to say we will act as a support for anything that's sort of super technical. We would refer to the web developers for the super technical part.
Yeah. So they're doing a lot of that technical hand holding in terms of, you know, what do your menus need to be labelled as, and, you know, have you got good photographs, and kind of it does everything, are all your bits of information pointing at the right thing. They're the experts in all of that. We're basically kind of, and I will be around really to answer any other questions though. So you can certainly contact Ross, Glenn, or Sarah, Donna, and me. Any of us in the team really will be up for kind of answering any questions. Debbie's got over 200 items with different product variants, so different sizes of kind of lentils that can be bought. Yes, it's going to take you a while to populate the spreadsheet. Ross, have you been talking to Hunger about, I know that they talked to us in the early days about being able to take, I don't know, do you call that an EPOS system, Debbie? I may be just showing my absolute ignorance about your sector, but they did talk about how if people have got very sophisticated systems that are already set up with their stock, that it would pull information.
Essentially, yeah, specifically with Shopify, which is quite a standard platform. So yeah. I would imagine that you could export your Shopify as a CSV file. So that's something I would get you to find out. It would save a lot of time. Certainly, if you could export your current product listing directly from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just an Excel sheet. The product file template is literally just an Excel sheet, description, name of the product, and the size or the weight or however you want to nominate the description of the product. So we could explore that.
Yeah. And Jackie, you're asking about, is it just open to chamber members? No, absolutely not. It's open to every Dundee business. So although we're tending to concentrate on businesses that tend to be a bit more consumer facing and not necessarily having a retail presence, but we are talking to a lot of people that have got a retail presence and people that tend to have products. But we could, I can certainly imagine that places like Discovery Point might sell special exhibition tickets through this. There might be a time where some businesses are kind of specifically looking to sell other things, but it's primarily going to be product driven at the moment. But yeah, absolutely. And we're very, very clear that this is not just about the city centre. This is about all of the kind of other areas of the city, and not just those with a physical presence. So if businesses that are already using the Hunger platform are being contacted by Hunger to offer them the opportunity to be listed in both places. What we are doing is liaising with people that are not currently on Hunger and looking to kind of onboard them. So if you've got an existing arrangement with Hunger, then they will be in touch, and there should be nothing very additional to do in order to be listed in both places. But we'll happily kind of pick that up with anybody that's still got question marks. Please, even though you've got an existing arrangement with Hunger, if you want to kind of just get in touch with us and ask any questions, then please do so. That's not a bother at all. Yeah, so Michelle's just talking about integrated point of sale systems and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, certainly those systems, we don't want you to have to list hundreds and hundreds of items twice. So we definitely spoke about this in the very early days when we were talking about the capability and how the site was being built and how easy we could make it for businesses to get on here. So that's the important bit, is that we've got good content, but that it's not going to take you days and days and days to get all your images and other things uploaded. Yeah, I mean, Ross, has there been any other questions that you've been experiencing while you've been out and about?
Not really. I mean, that's probably the main things of it. Certainly from a food and drink perspective, the 2% transaction fee is mind blowing. A lot of businesses are on Just Eat or Deliveroo or Uber Eats or something along those lines, and the cost involved, there's always a setup fee, definitely. The point of sale tablet can be 60, 80 to £100 a month. So the fact that we can do this at 2% transaction fee and just £15 a month for the point of sale is mind blowing. So yeah, we expect to get a good sign up rate from the food and drink industry for sure. Yeah. So
and a number of a number of businesses will have somebody perhaps that kind of does their delivery for them on a self-employed basis or whatnot. And certainly, we have had a couple of people asking about delivery. So the Selkie is one of the newer places in town, and they were certainly talking about, could we do you do delivery? And we certainly don't. That's not what we're all about. But we're happy if there are a few businesses that are actually saying, I don't really have a delivery, option myself. We could put a few of these businesses together, and you could collaboratively come up with a solution that's really pretty cost effective. We also will be happy to kind of put you in touch with other people that we work with, like Scott Brothers, that have kind of adapted their own service during this time to bring in delivery and expand their own kind of delivery options. So there are definitely people out there that we can kind of connect with that can maybe solve that problem. But we're keen to make sure that there's the option for that click and collect, as if and try and encourage people to come and use local businesses.
Totally, and it's a good way to test the water for future e-commerce opportunities as well, because like I said in the presentation, it can cost and does cost a lot of money to run a fully fledged all singing, all dancing e-commerce store. So this gives you a sort of nice introduction into the online marketplace without really any of the major costs that are associated with it. So yeah, be really keen to get some more feedback and get speaking to more businesses. So yeah,
absolutely. Okay, doesn't look like there's an enormous amount of other questions in the chat, which is fair enough. We've kind of covered quite a few things. Our next steps really are to make sure that we are kind of getting businesses and getting really strong content on this, because you know, it definitely lives and dies by the amount of really good businesses we've got there able to showcase what they do. It's not necessarily intended to kind of, it's there to complement what other people, you know, what your other channels to the market are. But between the council's channels, between the advertising we're going to do, the radio campaigns and those social media, we really want to kind of make sure that people right across Dundee and beyond know that this thing's here. You know, if you've got relatives from outside of town that want to get you a present for Christmas, then they can get you a voucher, and then you're able to kind of come on and spend it. So, you know, we're talking to the businesses about, you know, the potential for them to get together and all, you know, do something around an offer. I think that would be something that would be nice. We'll definitely be doing some campaigns around Small Business Saturday and tying into those national campaigns that are there. And as Ross said, using our social media to kind of, you know, celebrate the stores when they come on, make a fuss about that, and kind of talk about all of the different businesses that are there. So it's up to us to make sure that everybody knows about it. We're going to do our very best to do that. But if you could spread the word for us as well, and kind of see about getting some people interested, and even just talking to us, we're happy to answer any questions that people have got about the sort of the logistics of kind of getting yourself onto the app and seeing what's what with it. Certainly feedback from those early businesses coming on has been, you know, they're really happy. It was pretty seamless in terms of getting on, and you know, they're kind of pleased to be engaged in it. And I can't wait to see all these window stickers out and about, and make sure that, because the pride of kind of that, your place and supporting your local businesses and supporting these local jobs at the moment is really important. So yeah. Has there been any consumer feedback? Not directly on this app, apart from daft people like me that couldn't work out how to get back to the overall listing. But I know that I've used the Hunger app on. So what happens with Hunger is that businesses will have their own version of this. So it's the same software, and I've definitely used that with a number of local businesses. So, you know, this is an app that certainly works, and we've been doing a lot of testing with it. So we haven't really been out talking to consumers about this yet. We're not quite in that phase. We're much more in the phase of kind of getting businesses signed on to it, and that the feedback on that has been really positive. But you know, we will be keeping an eye out on consumer feedback and making sure that, you know, that if there is anything that, because we've already sort of adapted some of the things as we've been going. So the kind of tech team have been really responsive and have kind of, you know, been able to update as we've been asking for it. So yeah, yep. Any other questions? Or are your tummies all rumbling now that we're talking about food? No, I mean, as I say, we're around and kind of happy to answer any questions, or, you know, come out and have a chat, come out and have a socially distanced coffee and kind of have a chat with you. And you know, if anybody's looking for any conversations this week or next and wants to kind of influence what's going on, then please get in touch with us. We'd be really happy to chat things through. Okay. Perfect. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, and Ross, you don't want to add anything, or Sarah, there's nothing on the marketing that we've forgotten?
I don't think so, no. I'm hoping we've covered most of it there. So I'm glad we've been able to answer some questions in the chat. So yeah, just to echo what you're saying, don't be afraid to get in touch with us. Myself and my colleague Glenn will certainly be reaching out to a lot of businesses in the next couple of weeks too. So yeah, by all means, get in touch. We'd be delighted to help.
Yep, brilliant. Thanks, folks. Thanks very much for your time. Very much appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.